It's 8:03, so you know what time it is. It's now time to start Bronco Talk Live. What is going on, Bronco Nation out there? Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic Monday. I'm having a pretty good Monday. Kelly's been working late, so as along with our guest that's coming in, she's been working late trying to learn everything she can about these awesome Broncos and to explain things to you guys. So
answering all the questions.
That's right, all the questions. But this is Ford Bronco Talk Live, and it's presented by tonight. It looks like Bucky's, but it's not. But it could be. I'm looking at you, little Bucky. I'm looking at you, and you want to come on the old ATN train?
I don't know that Bucky's needs us to.
Oh, they need us, Kelly. The Bucky's, whether they know it or not, they actually they do need us. But once again, Bronco Talk Live, and tonight I think it's going to be a good one. I really do, because we brought Miss Aly Dubois. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you did.
I'm learning to speak French, I guess, or I don't know. Is that English French?
I don't know.
Aly, she's giggling. I can see her in the shadow. She's like, "This asshole is just effing up my name, man. What is he doing?" But anyways, we brought in the experts tonight. You guys get enough of this pretty face right here, and we got to bring in the experts, and because people do question. They'll go, "Hey, this is gonna bother me." Put a little mat down. People go, "Hey, man, where do you get your information from?" And I had it on the last video, and I have multiple sources on things, so I couldn't believe somebody was like, "Hey, you need to tell me where you got this from." And then they wrote me off as like, "Oh, that was on Bronco Nation." It was like, nothing. What you seen on my last video was nothing from Bronco Nation. But anyways, but I do hope you guys are having a good night so far. And Kelly, they're jumping in left and right, so we better get in before you're here all night. But you guys know the drill. You guys know what needs to happen. It's the world's worst intro.
I just can't get over that intro. Like, just the intro.
Oh man, but Kelly, you got work to do. It's time to earn that vodka. Some of the viewers have paid for this, and they want their up and comings.
Wow. Well, since you're getting sassy with me already.
No, basically I got to pour a drink.
Oh, so you bring me in for the difficult stuff. That's what I'm hearing. Right. So yeah.
That's why you're management.
Oh, is that what it is? That's what I went to school for, I guess.
True.
Anna Smith in this evening. Thank you so much for that super chat, sir, with a 1776. And happy Monday to you, sir. Happy Monday. Peugeot is in the house this evening. Justin Zimmerman.
Peugeot's been in the house since there were some of them like 4 hours ago.
That's crazy talk.
Well, they're crazy people.
You guys are awesome. Steve P, Mark King, Freight Costanza, Tim Corney, Pure Blood Patriot 17. Michael Rivas says 10-1 odds. Kelly has a hat on. Any takers? LOL. It is Monday.
It's about the only time Kelly wears a hat.
I know. I survived through the day.
Or if we're actually in the Bronco.
Right. Exactly. I actually have a Bronco hat that stays in the Bronco. Dirk Connor in the house this evening, 502 Bourbon Crew. And I heard a little rumor that Dirk Connor got his window sticker for his Everglades.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
man.
Sir.
Nice. Very nice.
G. Willikers in the house. Pez Head 123. Greg Barons.
It'd be bad if we had a Pez Head 321 or something. Right? And it just happened to be coincidence that they were in the live stream together.
Greg says August 8th, 2020 reserves. Still no VIN for 23 and beyond. Here it comes.
Greg, we got some, but there's a couple pluses, unless you wanted Cyber Orange. There's a couple pluses coming for you. I promise.
Bob Masters in the house says ready for the talk live tonight. Michael Cooper. Jeffrey Babb.
And Peugeot's a member now? Oh, wait. He's pointing to a member.
What?
Right.
Oh, stop it. Joshua Riddenhouse. Bubby's in the house tonight. Nikki Brewer says, happy Monday, everyone. Michael Rivas says, reservation number never mattered. It's by the dealer allotment. Bronco 78 is in the house. Overlanding for fun. Robin O'Malley, Seeker Bronco.
Speaking of overlanding for fun, Tim moderates a live voice stream after this on our Discord, All Terrain Nation Discord. So if you want to go afterwards and you guys want to hash it out, whatever you want to do, talk to each other,
continue to talk.
Tim moderates that over there. We greatly appreciate him doing that. And Tim helped me get the new emojis as he's posted up there.
Nice.
So we got Jackie Daytona for me and Rebecca for Kelly.
Yes. John Miko in the house as well. Mark Young, Frederick Brothers. And let's see, 2006 Lexus is 250 is in the house as well. Jonathan Falds, and I know a few have come in since I said that, or since I did my last one. So let me look. Hold on. We got to say hello to everybody. Of course, we've got Aly Dubois in the house in the background too. She's going to be coming on soon with us.
Yes, load your questions or comments because I'm sure she hasn't gotten enough of those.
I'm sure
over the last 5 or 6 hours. So
I do love that Mark King says 8:01. Dave forgot to flip the switch to go live.
No, actually, I was like, oh crap, right at 8, and then I saw Aly and we had to say
hi. Let's see. I want to make sure I get everybody. I know there was a few that came in while I was talking.
Well, we've got like, the numbers keep growing, Kelly. We'll be here for that'll be the live stream. It's just Kelly saying hi to everybody.
Mobile Moto in the house too.
Oh yeah, there's a
Skip V 6797 Minall Productions 1.
DB is in the house.
David Cesarco from Maryland. Dana Watts. I'm sorry. I have to say hello. Bronco Dude. Terrence Mooney in the house. Ramesh Lance.
Oh, Ramesh is he's a long time.
Ramesh says, guess what? I put in an order for a Maverick.
Oh, nice, man. Getting rid of the Tacoma.
Sandman 62, TJ Miller, Joel Mendoza, Thomas Dame, B2B.
Honest says he's been a member for
Alan Carroll
over a year. I don't think we have any years just yet. Honest, I was actually looking at those today because the year you.
Remember he had the problem with his.
No, I don't think we've had any members over a year just yet.
Oh, maybe not. I'll look into it for you though.
But
DB is in the house. Positivity wins. Wes, Gia Hogue.
All right. We'll be here forever. So let's bring in Kelly. You sort of got to meet
NDM 84.
You've been near Aly many times.
I know. I've been at multiple events near Aly, but yet we have yet to meet in person. So we're going to actually bring her in. You'll have to unmute her.
Oh, she's muted herself.
No, I muted her.
Oh, there we go.
So she could work away in the background while we were doing our thing over here.
Speaking of Mavericks, those order banks close on Wednesday. So get your orders in now.
So everybody hear that?
Yeah.
So if you need a Maverick, order banks close on Wednesday. So get to it.
I might just start playing the stock market through buying vehicles. I might just start throwing reservations down just to play the stock market.
You know what? To be completely honest, there's a lot of people I feel that are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you're actually in dealership.
I am in the dealership right now. I decided to stay here and actually get work done since I decided to do all things Ford this last 2 weeks. So
well, let us in on what have you, because the last time we talked, I know you said you had some stuff coming up, but every time I look on Instagram, especially, it's like you're everywhere.
I feel like I've been everywhere. So Ford reached out to me. This was probably 4 or 5 months ago now, and I thought it was a scam. So it came a message through Instagram. They said, hey, we love your content. We would love for you to be friends of Ford. I'm like, okay, great. I see nothing about this program through my system. Mm-hmm. This is fake. There's they're not following Ford. They're not following anyone who's important to Ford. I'm like, okay, there's no way. So I messaged them. I'm like, sure, here's my junk email, basically.
Right.
What is this? Here we go. Well, then they pretty much ghosted everyone because there's legal stuff they had to go through and all this other stuff. Then I got an invitation to the Mustang reveal for 2024. It is way cooler in person than it is in pictures. I've already seen some of the memes and some of the jokes and things like that. Some people were not fully impressed. And Kelly, thank you for jumping in on my Facebook. But it's one of those things where Ford can't do everything all at once because when they do, guess what? We're going to be in the same situation to where we can't get these cars out. And there is other things in the work for the Mustang. But for right now, I think they did a very good job of launching it, doing everything just to kind of tide people over until other things are coming. So that was also included with the media event through Detroit Auto Show, because that's going on right now, to add to the craziness. And then what else did I do? Oh, I did actually, my hoodie, Detroit 4 Fest. It is actually a Jeep event, and we tried to take over, but that was a epic fail because Ford didn't show up. So
Oh,
no.
Ford was supposed to come. Someone dropped the ball. Not really sure the whole story behind it, but Ford couldn't go. I think there was too many obligations, and unfortunately, Detroit 4 Fest was not one of them, because there was all the Raptors out in Vegas, because I don't know if it's been, there will be a Raptor school for Bronco. I think that's been
Right.
released. So there was that. There was dealer meeting in Vegas. Obviously the auto show, everybody was down there. And it's been nonstop, like the last couple of weeks. So like this is my first week where I have nothing. And I'm super pumped about it, to be honest.
Yeah, and you're just like, this is exactly what I need to do. Let's talk more Ford product.
It's nonstop, so it's okay.
The good thing is we locked you down last week when you were still like, sure, let's do this. Otherwise, if I'd have hit you this morning, you might have been like, no, sorry, Kelly.
I probably would have been like, I'm going to bed. I'm sorry.
I'm out. Well, we
You're like-
do greatly appreciate you being on here, because obviously you're their Bronco specialist up there in the land of Wolverine, and I trust what you're going to tell people. Like you seem pretty genuine, and clearly we're the channel that's going to sell Broncos for you. So I mean,
I told you, I gave you my shout out. I made you a little ad on my Facebook or my Instagram.
She's like, now stop talking about it unless
I
you're going to sell another one.
I know.
To one
I
of
just
your
like to let the
viewers.
audience know that's the kind of poll we have here. You wear a Bucky's shirt, your hat backwards, and suddenly you're selling Broncos around here.
Hey, there you go. Oh yeah, I will say they do need to make a Bucky's in Michigan, because my first Bucky's was on the way home from Supercell, Tennessee. I think it was in Ohio, or maybe it was Kentucky. I don't really know.
No, it was probably
somewhere on the way
Crossville.
home.
No, Kentucky, because she'll go.
Is there one in Kentucky?
She'll go up 75.
Yeah, wherever. I think it was maybe Ohio, because it was like brand new. I mean, that was insane. So wherever they opened a new one between Ohio and Kentucky, like somewhere along that line, we stopped. At
they're
that
amazing.
One, so.
They're it's like going to Disneyland for gas stations. It's the craziest thing.
Just 100 pumps, like.
Yeah, I can't explain it, but eventually it'll be 100 EV stations, hopefully. But anyways, I have to say a special hello to Cigar Texan Kelly. He's back. He's been missing for a little bit.
He actually said, he's like, it's been so long, and it has. We've talked about you all smack and been like, where's Cigar Texan? Where's Cigar Texan? I don't know if you've been catching up on the rewind on it, but Cigar, we've been wondering where you are, so I'm glad you're back.
Wait, Tim's trying to raise money over there somehow. No, leave my chest alone there, Tim. Anyway, so I want to get into the ordering situation, because like you were saying earlier with the Mustang, I know a lot of people thought, oh, they're going to open up reservations right then, and it's like, no, Ford learned their lesson with that one. Like, I think Maverick and the Mustang EV, that thing didn't. I mean, it was pretty popular, but not like Bronco. And then they add Maverick to that. It was a mess, man. So,
I mean, honestly, between Bronco, Maverick, and Lightning, it's been, putting it nicely, overwhelming.
Yeah.
We'll say that
it's a good way to piss off all your customers, because, customers aren't used to this style of doing business, and they think, oh, it's Amazon. It'll be there.
And that's the biggest thing, is changing I'm not saying we have to change the customer's mindset, but unfortunately going forward, you have to get used to ordering. You have to get used to this. I mean, we are far from being out of this hole. I mean, I'm not just talking. I had a guy who actually, his Bronco came in today. He works for Dodge. So he was well aware of everything. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, your point of view, like, how is it in comparison? He goes, they're striving in some places where they can't even compete with Ford, and then we're struggling in some places that we can't keep up with some of them. So you have to take your good and your bad, and they're far from being out of this too. So it's just one of those things that, unfortunately, Is it shitty? Absolutely. Like, this was not the plan at all. But at the end of the day, you have to get used to ordering. But eventually, when things are corrected, it will be a 30-day to 45-day turnaround, is the
Right.
ultimate goal for everything.
So do you think, because I've seen this question and I've had people ask me this question, what was it? Ford was bragging at one time 190,000 pre-orders, something like that. I know they
Oh, I
built
think
30.
there was more than that.
Was there? I can't. It's been so long ago. I can't even remember the pre-order numbers. But either way, I know the first year they built 32 to 36,000 Broncos for a half year, and they were getting a lot of the bugs out of the system. And then this year, it looks like they're going to go well over 100,000 Broncos this year.
Yeah.
Do you think, because we know all those say it's 190, not all of those converted. We do know there was people that got their money back, and I always realistically think, okay, about 140,000 probably tried to convert. Do you think we're kind of getting near the end? Is 23 where Ford just throws their hands up and has been like, that is it. We can't continue the price protection. We can't continue all these. We've got to move forward at some point.
Through 23, yes. I think this is going to be Ford's last stab saying, hey. And again, I don't mean to offend anybody. If this offends you, I'm sorry. I don't mean it that way. You've had your chance. You know what we're lacking. We know what we cannot produce multiple of. If you want your Bronco sooner, get rid of the hardtop. Obviously, it's hard in the colder climates. Trust me, I'm in Michigan. I fully understand. A hardtop is not always practical. I also don't park in my garage. I have too much crap in there. All my hunting gear's in there. It's just, I'm not moving my hunting stuff, plain and simple. I'm stubborn. So, like, a hardtop was a no-brainer for me. Like, I had to, and I was about to wait however long it took. And Ford has given enough chances. They've created the Everglades, the Raptor. They now have the Heritage Edition coming out, which, granted, yes, it's a late release, no matter what other people or dealers are saying. It even says in our order guides, it's a late release. It's going to be later next year, but that's going to take place with some of the hardtop for the MIC tops that they can't produce, and they're going to swap them to other ones. So they've done everything they can. We're trying to roll with the punches, and I think Ford eventually will say, okay, we're done. Like, you don't get price protection. This is what it is, but that announcement has not been officially made by Ford.
Right. And they don't want to. They don't want to scare customers away either. And
I think they've been, granted, I know there's some people who are not thrilled with everything of what they've been doing. We get it. Some people don't like the gifts and things like that. The thing is, they tried. They're not going to make everybody happy. At the end of the day, they can only move so much stuff with all the supplies that we're lacking. So it just makes it hard.
Yeah. And I'm with you though too. I think at some point by 23, if you're not willing to bend a little bit, you've got a long wait maybe coming, because I know obviously hard tops are just, that's whether what you think of the quality of those things or whatever your reasoning behind you need that hard top. I know they're doing the best they can. It's a brand new design. I've seen the inner workings of this thing. I had a inside source from Wabasto sending me all kinds of stuff a year ago, and was wanting to get a story out there, and I couldn't find a second source to kind of make that work. But I think they've got to move on. They can't be held to the past. They want to, they want to do things. They want to be able to shift the boat the way they want to do it. And like the speaker situation, they listened. That's not a quick turn. You can't just be like year two go, oh, well, now you get the sub. They listened, people complained. And I've always said it in these people, all manufacturers pay attention to forums. They're in the Facebook groups. They're never going to be like, hey, we're Ford, look at us.
Do you want to know like how many burner accounts that like I've seen and like I've talked to that person and I know who it is? Like there's so many hidden people that they're taking everyone very seriously. And I never really thought, like, especially going to college, growing up, like there would be jobs just for social media people. Like, I would have never thought this. Like, it's insane, everything. Like, I've seen, don't know if I should admit it, I've seen, like, Snapchats of their meetings, like, pulled up. And they have Facebook, and they're scrolling through the comments. Now, you sitting there bashing Ford, like completely being obnoxious. No, they're not going to take you seriously.
Mhm.
But if you are absolutely like sincere, like they take your comment and print it out and they say, okay, how many other comments like this do we have? Like, what other issues do we have? Is there more to this than what they're leading? And they're actually paying attention. So, unfortunately, like you said, it's not a quick fix. But if enough people say something, they're going to take a second look at it and saying, okay, what did we do? How did we drop the ball?
Yeah, I know
Mhm.
So it is kind of
Nissan had
cool.
told me, Nissan employees have told me, higher ups had said, look, we screen capture everything. But
Mhm.
they
It's
said,
creepy,
look,
but cool.
it's constructive
Yeah.
we can only take constructive criticism though, because if you're like, hey, this thing's a piece of shit, where do I take that to a boss? They're just going to write that off of like, well, okay, whatever. But if you lay out, your reasonings behind it, there's constructive criticism you can do, and they do screen capture that stuff. Like you said, they print it out. They show, hey, look, we told you guys they were going to
Mhm.
do this, and the bean counters got a hold of it and said, no, they'll be fine with it. And and I think the engineers and people that design these are real passionate about it, and they're like, they're kind of tied to a price point. Ford kind of sets, there's probably we're willing to, this vehicle is going to cost us this amount, design it, don't go past it. And once,
Yeah.
like the speaker situation, they definitely listen to that. But like I was going to say earlier, that's not something in year 2 that they've only had, what, at the time, maybe 5 months of building. They've
Yeah,
parts,
at the time.
they order parts years in advance. So it's, once they heard people complain, they're like, all right, let's fix that problem. And I, for one, I'm jealous of people getting the little sub. Will it make a huge difference? No, but we redid the speakers in ours.
Yeah.
It's still garbage, man. And
No, but it did sound better. We
it does sound,
tested it yesterday and talked about it, that it was different with that little minor thing. But I did want to kind of play devil's advocate for a second, because I know you guys were kind of talking about it, in regard to, hey, we've had this time to kind of get it together. But like it's been said in the chat, is like, the sad part is that we've seen people that come into the dealership and they placed an order in January and they ended up getting their vehicle this year, and it had a hardtop and it had all these commodities that people were told to drop off their vehicles if they wanted to get one and all that. So I know that there's a lot of people that are really frustrated about that,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you've got reservation holders that are day 1, day 2, day 3 reservation holders that are like, hey, why can't I get my truck? Like the whole weird algorithm and everything that just, they didn't go by what they originally said. So I know that that's what a lot of people are mad about, is like,
Yeah,
we've been patient and we're not getting
it's
kind of the payback from that perspective.
and that's what I don't really understand, because I have a girl that was local. She just moved a little further. She actually used to help groom my dog.
Oh,
And she switched her order over to ours. It's a base. It's a base 4-door with the 2.7 Sasquatch hardtop. So again, Sasquatch, I understand. There
mm-hmm,
was a national back order with that. Hardtop, also understand. It's a base.
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. There's not a ton to it, but I had some Outer Banks built with hardtops, like, shipped over. But granted, did those have Sasquatch? No. But there's other things that you're wondering, like, hey, can we tweak it? Can we do that? I have no explanation for that. My personal opinion, not like my work opinion, do I think the ball was dropped there? Yes. But I also don't know if the dealer's, like, allocation for that month had to play something to do with it too.
Right.
yeah. Well,
So it's
I
insane.
know I've said for a while, and guys, if you're in here, we are going to get to the ordering issues. But I will say, I think one of Ford's mistakes was allowing Sasquatch on everything. I think base should have
Yeah.
never gotten Sasquatch, and I know I always upset the base guy with this. And I look at this different. I don't look at this as a consumer. I'm looking this as kind of in between the sales and manufacturing. And I just think that they overcommitted, especially with the pandemic when it happened. That's a timing thing that you just couldn't
I mean,
predict.
and with that too, like it was to the point where, do you launch the vehicle like we were supposed to, or do we push it off another year and like still piss everyone off? So
Yeah.
it was
Mm-hmm.
literally, it's how many people are you going to make mad one way or the other type
Right.
of a thing. And I get it. I agree. I don't think Sasquatch should be on everything. Not to hate on my base people, because I had
Yeah.
a lot of bases ordered. I think a base is a perfect Bronco to do whatever the hell you want. Go for it, change absolutely everything, turn that into a car that you completely beat around and you don't care. Not saying that you should go take a $30,000 and $60,000 vehicle and don't care that you have a huge dent in it, but
Right.
things are gonna happen if you're using this the way that it's supposed to. Like, there was a couple times over this past weekend, I heard some dents that I was not thrilled about when I was off-roading my Bronco, and I got out and I checked, but we were still good. But it's gonna happen. I'm waiting personally for it to happen to mine. But it's just one of those things, like, that's what that car is perfect for.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Well, I've seen this in Wranglers. This is a big thing that and I know mobile knows this, but so Jeep wasn't hit all at once with 190,000 orders. Jeep we've scheduled for years and years in advance to have a certain amount of parts on hand to be able to schedule this and to do builds. Now, granted, yes, they build 200,000 Wranglers a year. That's
and
but they do that already.
Here's an inside source for that as well. They knew Bronco was coming. They stocked up very well and ordered, because what they were trying to do, and this is just from an insider who works there, they knew Bronco was coming. They were taking what they knew and ordering what they could that they knew Bronco was going to be a part of. They had a very good hand in doing this and planning this before. So that's all I'll say to that comment. But again, you are also getting some Jeeps without some options at all. Or they're saying, hey, here's this module, like, you're missing it, it'll be here at X amount of days. You don't know if that's true. You're still
right. And well, at least she doesn't have a crazy face when it froze.
Hopefully it wasn't us.
Yeah, guys, if you can see us chatting, let us know. There's Aly. There she's back.
There we go.
There you are.
But I know there's a big audience that's curious tonight about, I mean, we could go into a lot of whys, and I know you have some insight that maybe others don't. And I know, like, old 610 down there in Alabama can't say, because he's a principal of a dealership, so he doesn't want to necessarily, like, throw his old sack out there and get it, stomped on a little bit.
Did you really?
I did really say that. But
that one.
But I wanted to get into the ordering process and what is going on. I see, first off, there's a cyber orange is gone in the normal Broncos.
I'm not sad about that.
I'm not either, really. It was cool. It was a cool launch color, but they're going to change every year.
If my mom's watching, I'm sorry. She's obsessed with that color, and I hate it.
Also, this was a surprise that the eruption green is going away in Raptor. Any other news on colors with the 23s?
Good question. I don't have it memorized. Hold on.
What?
I did see. I know it's weird that I have, like, other vehicles we have to order and, like, watch and stuff. It's crazy.
It's crazy that you don't have every single detail memorized.
I know. I don't know where all the screws go either, so I'm sorry to everybody. So. Oh, and my mom just texted me, love my cyber orange. So she's watching.
Hey,
well, hi, Mom.
Mom better hit
the
subscribe buttons. All I know.
We've had Aly on twice now, just saying.
That's
you can
right.
see your daughter on TV.
I didn't say you had to ring the bell. Just hit subscribe.
And right now, guys, while Aly's looking that up, we do have 164 viewers and only 46 likes. So give us a like on this video.
Yeah, I think that is the only other color change that I'm seeing that they got rid of. For Raptor, I mean, for all of them, is just those. So nothing, there's no more surprises.
Do you think, is Ford known to mid-cycle change colors?
No.
So that's not, because I know Jeep will do that some. Jeep, I have to say, that's something that Ford has to get on board with that Jeep does. Jeep will throw a fun color out there for 6 months.
I agree.
And change. Like, Ford has to get away from this weird palette they're on right now.
I honestly think because things are just so crazy. I don't think that they won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the Jeeps, I will say I do like some of their crazy colors.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's unique. But at the same time, Ford knows they're so backlogged right now. Like, everyone's already mad that they're getting rid of a blue color for Raptor as well.
Right.
It's just one of those things. They can't keep pushing this back because it's taking so long. Unfortunately, they have to cycle through these colors. It's unfortunate. It really is. But at the end of the day, like I tell people, I'm like, you're sitting in your car. Yes, it's nice to have a fun color, but do you really know and are you paying attention to what color your car is on the outside? Like you're gonna be you're
on the Bronco,
but
yes.
But you're gonna be happy once you have the keys.
Yeah.
You're gonna
A
be
true
ecstatic.
salesman right there. Look at her. She's just trying to get them out of this. They signed the paperwork. Just get them out of the lot. And
I don't get paid until your tires hit Grand River, which is a street in front of my
Just so
building.
you know, when she rolls off the lot.
Yeah.
Rolls
So when
off
you
the lot.
leave, then I get paid.
So, and I see it in the chat, and I wanted to comment on this. Like there so many grays right now. Like I don't like. When did Ford get this big carb owner for gray?
know.
Like I don't get it. Like
No, I don't either. So a couple of us have mentioned that. Like we didn't really realize that until Ford did that 2 years ago. It was blue everything. Like Ford, there was a lightning blue. I just kept calling them Ford blue because they were bright, obnoxious. I'm just like, it is what it is. But Ford has a tendency to do that. Sometimes it's red. Right now it's grays. Like this year we had Star White, Space White, Oxford White. I feel like there was something else. Maybe not. But they will go through these cycles where they'll have like 3 or 4 different colors of the same palette. And right now it's gray. I don't have an answer for that.
well, so there was a picture of one of a Everglades at the Ford's garage there, and it looked like it was in Leadfoot. And it was out a couple months ago, right? Probably the start of summer. And was there anything in the? I don't recall seeing anything much change of Everglades.
Nope. Nothing changed for Everglades except for they got rid of
The
the
desert
desert
sand.
sand.
Yeah,
That
which
was
is
it.
surprising. I thought that might be a higher take rate.
I think that Leadfoot is coming eventually back because it used to be on the F-150. And they teased it a couple times with F-150, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it on a Bronco, but just not. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to get rid of carbonized gray, which it actually used to be called magnetic gray back in 15, 16. And then it went away, came back as carbonized, and it's literally just like one shade lighter. And if you aren't a car person, you wouldn't know. Because like I used to have magnetic gray, and I fell in love with carbonized gray, but I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, this isn't the same color. I'm like, I never thought I would be picky about like between magnetic and carbonized, but I could definitely tell a difference.
Well, so let's start with base. So, initially at launch, base wasn't going to get cyber orange. Base did have some limitations to colors. Is that still? I know last year they kind of let it have some more colors. Did they change any of that you know of, or
Yeah,
or is,
we'll just go down all of them. So you can get pretty much everything in base. So you can get hot pepper red. It's not going anywhere, unfortunately. I'm not a huge fan.
We need Rapid Red back, just saying. I mean, we're okay with an exclusive 1 year, but I'm just saying.
I'm not going to lie. I completely agree with that. You can get hot pepper red, velocity blue, eruption green, shadow black, the Azure gray. I don't even know how to say it right. Silver Stang, Area 51, carbonized gray, cactus gray, race red, and white. So you can pretty much get the entire lineup across the board in that.
But nothing exciting.
No.
Well,
I mean, Azure gray is not bad, but there's nothing that really, to your point, like stands out. Like there's nothing wild and crazy. People are going to be kind of forced to wrap their vehicles if they want something fun.
Maybe part of that problem is they're trying to add some dull colors to get people through 23. And by 24 is when they're like, okay, the order banks are kind of refreshed. We can kind of now let's take on another load of orders.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so. If you've paid attention to Ford changeovers, it's every 3 years. So for 24, it would technically be the third model that I think that we'll see some changes for some stuff. You're not going to see body changes for quite a while. Because that for Ford is every typical like 5 to 6 years is what you're going to be seeing. And then like colors and things like that are always 3 years.
Well, I think with Bronco, I think they'll follow the more of the Wrangler path anyways. And Wrangler doesn't change really but every 10 years. Like, and with this
No.
style vehicle, I don't see. I mean, they'll add options, little stuff with the radio. They'll probably change the screen out at some point, but I can't see them changing the body style for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like major things. You can't get, so for Everglades people, you can't get code orange, hot pepper red, silver, or Oxford white. And Raptor, it looks like just eruption green and carbonized gray. So that hasn't changed.
So, what are the colors for Raptor that is available then for 23?
You can get code orange, hot pepper red, shadow black, azure gray, silver, area 51, cactus gray, and white.
Okay.
Okay. So still an exclusive at least.
Yeah. Because I have a lot of customers. Actually, 2 of them were in today because I was just finalizing and just making sure everything was good with her order. And she was super bummed that you can't get carbonized gray because she actually fell in love with my Bronco with the teal on it. She's like, I want to just do that. I'm like, you can't. I'm sorry. I'm like, Bucky's exclusive. Only Batman's. Here you go.
I mean, speaking of teal and turquoise, there's a lot of folks like Jason Boyd said it in the chat too. And this, I'm a huge fan too. Is like, I want turquoise, like I want like a Tiffany blue, like, and I know I can wrap it.
I want the robin's egg blue in the worst way. My dealer,
That would probably be my second choice if I had the choice
my
between
dealer rep is still
turquoise and
telling
that.
me to get lost, that I'm not getting one. So I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep asking.
So that hasn't changed since the last time we talked with you, because I
No.
think you said the same thing back then.
Yeah, not at all. He will not let me change.
He's like, nope.
Yeah, no, I went through this sheet a little bit. There's really, other than a couple changes to the paint colors, there's not. I mean, there was no, and it wasn't expected. But are your customers that
Wildtrack gets Haas 3.0? That's standard. So so anyone who got pushed, yes, it sucks, but you do now get this standard. And Ford is going to put out a rebate for these customers who.
That's what I was about to ask, because there was what, $3,500, 4,000 upcharge for the 3.0.
Yep. And if you have not made any other changes or anything like that, Ford is going to make a rebate. No more of this like cutting checks back. They're almost done with that, but they're just going to make it rebate exclusive, because here's where it comes into being an issue. Some people have changed their order multiple times.
Oh, I bet.
Legit, I had a guy change it 17 times for a color. 17 times for a color. Like, how many other times
just
do you have to
jumps
see?
Back and forth 16 or 17 times.
And then by the time it came in, he was like all mad. He's like, well, this wasn't my final color. I'm like, it was, because I made you sign off. You specifically, I made you sign off. And
You're that 17th time. Maybe you meant to come in an 18th time, but
I know, maybe he thought about it.
So Ash Paul asks, my 22 is scheduled for the 26th September week. Will it be upgraded to Haas, or does it come equipped with 23?
If it is a 22, it is a 22. If you don't have Haas, you will not have Haas, unfortunately. Now, I will say, if for any reason your order gets canceled because they throw in the towel and say, okay, it's too late, it's not a 22, it's a 23, there you go. But no, if you are already scheduled, you do not have Haas, unless you specifically added it. So that is the unfortunate part.
I am surprised, and I've heard this a lot, of why didn't, and I think Impijo or somebody had said this in the chat, I wonder why they never thought of giving Badlands a chance at Haas 3.0 as a suspension upgrade.
I know, that's what I was wondering too, because I mean, this is my personal opinion, not Ford's opinion. I think Badlands is kind of one of the top ones because it's your most off-road capable. And to be able to have Haas on that, the only thing I could think of, and again, I'm not a mechanic. Yeah. I have friends in the back that get to do everything for me. So again, not a mechanic. The only thing I can think of is that for some reason with the sway bar disconnect, something is going on. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, no,
but again, not a mechanic, so don't come at me.
No, that does actually make
But
sense.
the wild track doesn't come with sway bar disconnect.
No.
No, it's
No.
only Badlands and Black Diamond.
I
All
learned
right.
something new tonight. I'm always learning
Does
something new.
Black Diamond have it? I'll have to
Well,
check.
I've also questioned why is there a wild track anymore too, and I do think by maybe 24 that they start maybe thinning that down a little bit because they definitely have to have, with Heritage coming on board, and I know there's probably some Heritage questions out there for that. They have to, map over there can only build so much, and they're already sharing with Ranger. You got a new Ranger coming up that's going to be a popular hit for Ford.
Yeah.
That plant is going to be maxed out. And if it almost like that plant needs to be a dedicated Bronco plant. And maybe that's the plan. They seen what Bronco could do. Was it going to work? Was it not? And eventually make it. Cause you drive by Toledo with Jeep, man. And that plant is huge.
It is ginormous.
Yeah. So maybe eventually, and that would allow for more options as well. But so as far you said, they're killing off the tan and
Desert sand.
Desert sand on Everglades. Did you catch? Was there any other new colors for that one? I can't remember what you said, Aly.
No, she didn't. She said no.
No.
Just removing it.
Well, I think how's the take rate been for Everglades for you guys? I know talking to South or Alabama there, it's been like nothing.
We got 0. We had
Really?
no hand raisers. We had no nothing. So I will be interested to see who goes ahead and like gets one in the future, because it'll be one that sticks around for a while, but just nothing soon. And everyone's calling me out. Yeah, I thought it was on Black Diamond. It's not. So
What's that? The sway disconnect?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
Black Diamond
it
and
was-
Badlands are like even, and I had initially we had a Black Diamond on order, but
Yeah.
that's almost a
I
trim I'm
was-
not seeing many out either.
I've actually had quite a few come out.
Okay.
Just for the price point, because I had a lot of people not care about the Lux package or anything like that. Their main concern was the vinyl floors and the vinyl seats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I get it. I have a Husky. Her hair sucks. Like, I like to pop the doors off, and the minute I hit 96, you just see a white cloud come out of my Bronco of hair, and then we're good. So trust me, I get it.
Right. In the chat, I see they're putting question in front of their question.
know.
Actually, keep doing that. That helps.
Because
reduce
it actually
that helps
that
us
pops
a
sort
little.
out it kind of pops out a little bit more.
Go ahead, Kelly.
So John Corley says, question, should my dealer be contacting me about the color change since my color was cyber orange? Is auto change
Yes.
a shadow? So they
Yes,
will
if you
they
have-
should be automatically reaching out.
They should be reaching out. If you don't hear from them, obviously reach out, because Ford, thankfully, this is why it was not so crazy for me today. Ford auto changed everything and converted everything for us. So we just have to go and change the color. And if people want to change some of their options as well. So,
because that was different from 22, right? 22's was kind of a mess because you guys had to like manually change everything.
So did you have to fully rebuild in 22 for 22? Or did
we
anything
were
carry
very-
over?
A lot of it carried over. We were very lucky because our dealer rep was on top of it and changed most of it. There was honestly just one that was messed up with the modular bumper. That was it. I'm like,
Nice.
one out of all of them. I'm sorry. Yes, it sucks.
Yeah.
We're sorry. But we had a lot that we had to manually change over.
Now they're starting to abuse the question option.
Yes.
Overlanding for fun says, any word on wireless AC for the rear of the Bronco?
No,
That was not the one I meant.
No,
to
there was
click.
I was gonna say there was a
No.
question right after that.
That's
last
what
one.
I meant to
There you
click. Stephen Rapp says, question, how many regular heritage editions will be made the first year, and how do I get the limited heritage?
Limited heritage, you have to have a reservation that has not been converted. You will have the first chance at that. You have to tell your dealer that you want one, and there'll be a code that, like, they can change it to the body code or whatever, and Ford will pull those accordingly. I have not heard of like a hand raiser situation like there was with Raptor, and things like that, but definitely contact your dealer if you want the limited heritage. The regular heritage, from what I know and what they've told us, are unlimited. Like, they're not going to put a cap on the big bend ones. So
Yeah.
So with that being said, heritage, there's been kind of talks back and forth about it, kind of wondering, first edition was only supposed to be X amount. Then they decided, oh no, we meant this many 2 doors and this many 4 doors. So we know the number's 1966 for the limited. Do we know if it's 1966 4 doors and 1966 2 doors, or we do not know? It's just a
Total.
mix.
Yeah,
Total
as of
in
right
general.
now, it's total 1966.
Yeah, that's I still think that's going to be a miss. They have to do 2-door, 4-door because like the first edition, that was a nightmare for, especially I guess on your end, that was probably a nightmare because they didn't define it as anything.
Everything's fine. Everything's just fine.
Everything's fine. We're
see-
fine. Everybody's fine.
Do you see the fire behind me? Because everything's fine. Hold on.
I need
Someone
to get Aly a
actually-
shirt that says, I'm fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Like,
Oh my God, please.
I'm
Wait,
working on
hold
it. I got
Someone
you.
actually had a good question about a heritage. I'm like trying to read these as we're going to.
the main difference. There's one
Um,
here. The main differences.
Let's see. Heritage. I think you can only get the 2.7 engine.
I know the limited, yeah,
Yeah, the limited you can.
because it's
Yeah.
just a maxed out Badlands basically with painted roof
Yeah.
and unique color. JW's asking, Aly, when do you expect to have pricing for the 23s?
Never. I don't know. I don't know. Technically, I mean, manually we have them right now. So if we go through and like grab a calculator and do all of that, my
Yeah.
guess would probably be. Now, y'all do not go to your dealers and say Aly said this because I cannot. If I had to make my best guess, it would probably be towards the end of the month, like after the 25th.
Yeah.
Is what I had to guess because we can't even physically go in and change anything yet. And technically that says that it's open, I think, tomorrow. So once we can get into Webdo and change orders, that's when we have pricing. So,
Okay.
and if it was anything like Maverick, it's been crashed the last 2 days. So,
Oh, wow.
so like we keep trying to go in to put, because all the dealers have to get these orders in before Wednesday. So
Mhm.
everyone's using it at once. So I would say the end of the month.
Is Maverick still a big hit for you guys sales wise?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think this many people would be interested in that small of a truck. Like, at first, I only saw, like, pictures of it, and I was not thrilled with it.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
But now that we have it, I'm like, it's cute. It's a cute car. It's meant to take place of Fusion because we don't have anything in that price point anymore. We only have really Bronco Sport and Escape, which you're looking at 28. I mean, yes, if you go to the bare bones, I'm sure it's less than or around 25. But not a ton of people do that.
Yeah.
Being honest.
I think this is the
But-
question we were talking about.
Pop it up.
People love them.
What are the main differences between Heritage and Heritage Limited? Well, I know the Heritage is a big bin basically with painted roof and custom
Yes.
decals and grill, and the Heritage Limited is a maxed out Badlands, loaded,
Yes.
just a loaded Badlands.
Yeah, basically a Lux Badlands with a white tube or white top. Fender flares are squared off, and you get the white rims.
Mhm.
So
Which
that's
I'm
it.
jealous of
And
those fenders.
I love so I saw them in person. One of my customers tests and like drives the crap out of the Broncos. Basically, he has a rough job. Really sucks. But he'll come up and bring colors and options and things up here, and he'll like hint at some stuff. And I saw them in person, and they look fantastic. I'm like, okay, so how do I get those on mine? He's like, well, anything's possible. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's true. It's true.
you know, there was Ford did make that boo boo in December when the grills actually got out to dealers where dealers could order those grills. So anything's possible.
Right?
Yeah. And I know that, again, sorry I don't have this memorized, guys. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's fine.
Terrible. You've been dealing with Maverick today. Speaking of Maverick,
And
we did have
everything.
we did have a couple people ask Maverick questions. I know we're Bronco Talk Live, folks. Just bear with us just a second. We're gonna pick Aly's brain for a second.
We're anything
We're showing
Ford
the
right
people
now.
here.
When did Maverick order banks open? Ish.
Friday.
Wow,
Friday?
Okay, so they're already turning that quick.
And they're already
Yeah,
closing it.
They're closing Wednesday, you said?
Yep.
Wow.
Close Wednesday.
And so
Everything's fine.
So is Maverick working the same way as Bronco from an allocation perspective? Do you think it will? Do you think it'll be that big? Obviously not, maybe
Yes.
not as big as the Bronco, but
Not as big as Bronco, but it's high up there. And I mean, here's the thing too. Dealers have the choice depending on their wholesale. Like they can choose a little bit more of one and like less of another. And like every dealer's doing the same thing, and they're trying to get the Broncos, the Bronco Sports, the Mavericks, and honestly the Super Duties. Because you're gonna see soon, Super Duty has an announcement on the 27th. So you'll see a lot of changes from them. But people are waiting a year and a half for Super Duties too.
I've been
So-
seeing that in the forums where people are like,
So,
I
guys,
got tired of waiting
it
for my
is-
Super Duty or whatever. And I
That's
didn't
the thing,
realize
like-
that people were waiting too.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
stacking
it's-
up at the Kentucky Speedway right now. They've got hundreds of
Oh my God.
F-150s and everything sitting there.
It's insane. So yeah, I mean, it is showing on the Heritage Edition for Big Bend. It is showing that the manual is an option.
That it is an option?
That it is an option
On what?
because it's
On the-
on the Heritage Edition because it's
Well.
showing the 7-speed manual transmission as standard, an option for the 2.7.
So once
engine.
you go 2.7, you can't, no manual transmission then.
Yeah, because it's optional on that. And I'll send this page I can send you guys. So if people have questions later, if you want to post it later,
Okay.
that does show that. So yeah, it looks like
Yeah, I've
engine
got the
options
P-
you
I
can
had-
get whatever.
I had probably the same thing. Yeah, I've got the PDF.
Perfect.
So this is
That's what
actually
I-
really
That's what I get to study. It's
Yep.
great.
Yeah, I have that.
this is actually a really interesting thought process. So do you think that Ford intentionally paired the Bronco with the Ranger in low volume plant to constrict production and drive hype and demand?
That's a good
No,
question.
I think it's just I mean it's a good
I think
question,
it's
but I think
it's convenient.
I think it is convenient because they're so similar. I think it is.
I think it's convenient because one, they wanted Bronco in Michigan just because everything Ford is in Michigan and they wanted to bring the hype that way. As for the demand on Ranger, obviously it's not the highest that it's ever been. And I think it helps a little bit, but I don't think that was like intentionally
too
the plan.
strategic.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants the Heritage, say just the normal Heritage, when the actual order banks open up, they are ready to be ordered, correct?
Yep.
So and even the Big Ben version, that's still late availability if I remember right.
I mean, both of the Heritage will be late availability because of the white roof.
Right. So people definitely need to understand, especially I think with the limited, especially, I would look at, you better be this time next year before you get that vehicle because they're going to sneak
Probably.
those in. The problem is the paint colors. MAP can only paint, I think, 12 colors at a time.
Yeah.
And that's why the desert sand, as Kelly likes to remind me, is that's why that was basically August only paint colors, because they were in between switching out some stuff and they could sneak that color in for some of that. Other than that, man, they don't have a ton of paint choices they can throw at this thing.
Yeah. There's another question too. Is it
Go for it.
unusual for a day 6 reservation holder to still be waiting for a wild track 2.7 4-door Lux? Yes.
All those restrictions. I know that was
Yes.
Positivity Wins that asked that one. Yep.
Yes, and only because the 2.7, because of the 30-some engines that were recalled, or it wasn't even a recall. If you had an issue, you brought it in. Ford knew what they were looking for, and I haven't seen the numbers on that. I haven't seen that many more since that post. But again, the forums say one thing, Ford says another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last I
but-
heard it was under 60 that they had
Yes.
issues with.
Yep. And the 2.7 was stopped, so that's why you saw a ton of manuals get pulled. That's why you saw a ton of 2.3s get pulled. Lux package, yeah, that's still a hold on everything. And because Wild Track has Sasquatch that has the 35-inch tires that were on national back order, yes, also a huge weight too.
So I've not known that the tires, they've had issues getting the tires as well.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
there was a national back order, and the only reason there was a national back order that Ford couldn't get them is because Ford got Wrangler off of those tires. So
Yeah.
unless they switched and put the Wrangler ones on, which technically we all know what they are, they just didn't want the Wrangler brand on the Bronco, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yep. John Miko asked, I have the Badlands on order. Can I change to Wild Track and keep price protection?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I think they did away. They said last year that if you change over, it's no longer price protection.
Ford will change. Ford again is doing a rebate, and again, I don't have the message like officially from Ford that they send out like this, saying exactly what it'll be, but we know that it'll be in the form of a rebate tied to your house. So hopefully your address is correct, in the dealer system. But yeah, if you change that completely, it's not gonna hold.
Bobby Rar says, when will retail orders be taken and how does Raptor work? I don't know that there's an official day for new orders, right?
No, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be November, December, being completely honest.
That's what I've been telling people too.
Ford is going to change and do everyone who still is waiting, unfortunately, which I think is right. Don't take any more.
Mm-hmm.
But again, kind of like we talked about, Ford can only do this for so long. Ford can only push things off for so long. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take new ones. They are getting a new system in place to make sure these people are getting theirs that are waiting for so long before new ones are built. But again, only going to do it for so long.
Stephen Rapp, thank you for the super chat. Says, I had 2 reservations and one just evaporated and never got any refund, but want the order. Good question, not abusive. Can I follow up with you and order and buy?
If it was not converted that you know of, I think you can, but you cannot switch dealers. So Ford put they squashed that a while ago, that you can't switch dealers because everybody under the sun was, and then it was screwing up allocations and who was going where. Like, who was the dealer who has like everyone under Granger or something?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Unfortunately, look at what they did. They got everybody's orders. Well, guess what? You now either order and stick with them, or you're starting this process all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know
that's just the
they'd
only thing.
taken like 600 orders, and last I'd heard they had only actually gotten like maybe 30.
Yeah, and they expected not to get done until like 2025.
Yeah, but now you've got that's a whole nother question, and I know you can't speak to this because it's not the same dealership, but I mean, if Ford doesn't allow those people, that feels like a lawsuit waiting to happen of people that, you know, because maybe this year they only got 30 Broncos. So yeah, like you're saying,
that's the thing. They went off of all of your allocation. I mean, Granger's a smaller dealer, and they went and making all these. I can't speak for them, but that's just not. Unfortunately, they probably did get more allocation because of how many reservations they actually started off with. But at the end of the day, they base it on everything. And surveys is a huge thing to do with that as well, which no one really talks about surveys. But if you're not pulling the ranks in surveys and stuff, like Ford looks at that.
So that's an interesting, that kind of opens a question for me, because our dealer, we gave the top that you could numerically. However, blew them up in the wide open. Like, so does Ford look at those wide opens, and does that affect them as well? Or are they straight looking at numbers?
They're looking at numbers.
That's what I thought.
They're looking at numbers 90% of the time. Like, they'll look at a couple of them, plain and simple. Like, I've asked people, I'm like, listen, if I did something to seriously make you mad, tell me now before I find out in the survey, because like, my managers read all of it. And if I'm getting pulled into that office and they're asking me what happened and I had no idea, like, I don't want to be blindsided, because that's the thing. Like, Ford does look at that, and they see the sales consultants that are pulling in the ranks and doing the numbers that they want and things like that. And I mean, I just don't want to be pulled into that office.
Oh, yeah. No, trust me,
honest.
It was not our sales rep that was being pulled into the office based on that. It was, we were very vocal with our issues before that survey came out, and it was based on the dealer itself, not our sales rep was amazing. He was great.
They definitely look at the numbers.
So I'm looking over the same sheet you got. So I'm looking at just the normal Heritage Edition right now, and it looks like there's basically only really option you can choose is color. I think everything else is pretty much it's a mid package. It's a mid package, and that's
Night, Derek. Thanks for joining, sir. Congratulations on your build.
But yeah, I don't see where you like really have any options other than it's a mid package, and you're getting the grill and the hardtop.
Yeah, and white rims.
Yeah.
Cigar Texan says, I still have a Lightning reservation, but I don't want it now.
I'm sure that dealership would pay you
or
for
I'm
it.
sure you could flip it, Cigar Texan.
Okay, so about that, no, dealers do have to stick to a name match.
Yeah.
That was actually a question because that's the CVOP or whatever it is you've talked about in the past, right? So somebody actually asked that question that I wanted to bring up with you. Is it COVP or CVOP?
Yes, COVP. It's like customer order verification program.
Okay. So Lynette asked, hey guys, any advice how to handle a dealer that says they have no idea what COVP is? They also went on to say that there's no need to confirm anything by November.
Wrong and wrong. So COVP, we have to stay, I think it's like 75 or 80%. And that is what Ford is going to do to make dealers lose allocations and things like that. Like, we cannot do like 50 dummy orders for Escapes and Explorers and F-150s. Before there was that rule, my dad ordered 6 trucks, and I think he knew about 4 of them. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I ordered what he wanted in a few different colors, and I knew what color he wanted, and we had a couple of them. But that is how Ford's going to move forward with affecting dealer allocation, because they can't really do anything about them selling over MSRP, or because we are franchise. We buy the invoice from Ford. Obviously, there's more logistics than that. But if we're not hitting name match, they will rip it from us. Plain and simple. That's what they'll do. The first time is a slap on the wrist. The second time, I think you lose it for 6 months or so. And then again, that's like my manager's part, that he can deal with that. But we just know what we can and can't do. If someone found something, I ask them to tell me so I can delete their order.
Well, so in that case, I'm sure that the dealership, because we were told this weekend a dealership tried to buy the Bronco not out from under them, but they offered them $5,000 to basically walk away from once it came in. They were like, hey, we will pay you $5,000 right now.
My understanding would be it wouldn't affect because they've already taken ownership of the vehicle.
No. But my question is somebody like with the Bronco or Lightning, whatever. So the dealership, you make a deal of like, hey, I will allow it to, I'm not going to cancel my order. It's coming in under my name, with the understanding that basically you're going to, maybe you can do some sort of deal where you just walk away for a little bit of money, because I know it's still hot.
I'm sure there's paperwork involved in that. Don't know exactly what I can say in that, because we have people that buy their leases out and turn them in, but Ford has like a 4 to 5 month rule that only you can buy your car out type of a thing, and we still have people do trade-ins, and that's a conversation for another time. But I'm sure it's something like that they are probably paying cash and look like it's buying it, and they're writing a check back for the difference type of a thing. If I had to make my best guess.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm going to do something.
I was just going to say that I know that some folks are actually asking, so do they have to do anything for their order to convert from a 22 to 23? Do they need to make sure they contact their dealer, or will it just flow over?
It's going to flow over. We've already had, so like these are all of ours. And some of them, I don't even know if y'all can read that. Like some of them say unscheduled and balanced out. They've already converted them. Like I already have 23s on my sheet. I don't know if you can read that.
Yep.
They've already started. So
but I would say
Ford's on it in the background.
As a customer, I would say it's just smart practice to check in with your dealership just to verify, right?
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
I mean, should your sales consultant be doing this? Yes. But I can tell you, between Maverick, Bronco, everything, we're swamped. It's not that we're purposely forgetting people. It's there's a lot more that I'm sure not everybody has like a way of handling all of this. There's nothing in the book saying like, hey, this is the best practice for this because
Right.
it's just, again, there's a fire behind me, so it's fine. It's great.
What was your Dave?
Well, I was going to do my little sales pitch of guys.
Do it.
We have a membership program here on the channel, and I don't like selling this, but it's just kind of a need that $5 a month helps support the channel. You get a couple little interesting perks. It's all wrote out in the membership button that you can push if you would like to. We do appreciate that. Honestly, payment tonight, just smashing that like button. Like Kelly said, there's 171 people right now and only 91 likes. If you feel like you're getting good info here, or you have questions, be sure to smash that button, because for a small YouTube channel like we are, believe it or not, just smashing that button tells YouTube that people were interested in this and they liked it and wanted to move on. And even if you, I hope nobody hits the download button, but YouTube doesn't care. They look at it as the same thing. Go over to allterrainnation.com. We have some gear if you want to check out what we've done with our Bronco. We have all the parts listed there, so you can check that out. We also have our Jeep Gladiator, which is Aly needs to sell for us, is what it is. We need to just drop it off up there and let her flip that thing for us, in hopes that we get a Ranger, the Ranger whenever. Who knows when they're going to drop it? I just have a feeling it's soon.
Oh, Ranger Raptor.
Yep. But and I want to talk to you about that, Aly, because I've talked to old 610 down there, but I don't feel as confident as I might with you, as you being the salesperson, to get to get our business on that. So if there's any way when that comes in that we could squeeze my name on a list, I will do whatever it takes legally, like everybody else.
Hey, I mean, I'll put. Hey, we don't have a Ranger Raptor list yet. So if you want me to start one, I will gladly put it in.
I would gladly like to be number one on your list, and I will fly up to Michigan, and we will give you a crisp high five and take you to dinner. How about that? We will take you to dinner and say thank you.
Perfect.
All right. Anyways, that was my sales pitch. I greatly appreciate that. Mark Santa, thank you for that super chat, by the way. Guys, believe it or not, like this is one last thing. Me and Kelly do travel around the country. We do press events. And believe it or not, the little $4.99s, you don't think it means much. It means a ton, because with you guys, membership this past month was able to buy one of our flights based on that to get us to Texas. So we greatly appreciate that. All right, Kelly.
Yeah, I did have one that I wanted to get in here, because I know that this is a pretty common question, just kind of in the boards and things like that. While we've got Aly, I do want to check. So Jason says, want to verify that once I get my scheduled email, I cannot change the color, because there were some rumors that you could change the color. You just couldn't change anything else on your build.
You have 24 hours from when it's scheduled to change the color. Why? Because I did this with one of our reps, our Ford credit rep. It was supposed to be one color. He knew, he told me the wrong color when he called me, and I was able to change it. So within 24 hours, yes. After that, it is locked in, and you can't change it.
Just contact dealer for that, or is that
just contact your dealer. They literally just have to log into Webdo and press the little drop down on the color. That is it. If they don't let you change it, that means it's been processed and it's done. But you can do it within 24 hours.
So I have a question of that, because when a person, I've seen this multiple times in the chats here recently. So when somebody wants to order one of these things and a dealership says, hey, we're going to honor MSRP, I see a lot of people going, well, you need to get the paperwork signed. You need to get the build sheet signed or whatever. Does that really truly in your eyes mean anything? Or is it just up to it comes down to when financing hits, what they want to do to you?
Yeah, it's up to the dealer at that point. I mean, it's easy for us. Have we marked Broncos up? Yes, $5,000.
Sure.
Here's your thing. We are in a Ford dominated area. If we don't offer a plan and things like that on certain models, like, we're gonna get our heads ripped off, and Google and Facebook, and everything is gonna blow up. I think compared to others, we're pretty fair. In the marking up, we don't do it on all of them. We do it on certain units. But it's hard for us to sit here and have a Ford retiree in front of us who worked there for 30, 40, 50 years say, yeah, no, you can't use your AZ plan, get out. Yeah, not so much. Like, you guys have seen some of my posts. Like, we do honor A plan on some of these things. We don't add too crazy accessories. Like we'll do floor mats, covers, floor liners, the rear liner. I'm trying to think of everything we've done. We've added running boards to some. We haven't done anything crazy or anything like that. But at the end of the day, dealers do want your business. We've done everything. All of our customer orders have been at MSRP. We haven't jacked or A plan, whatever one you qualify for. But truly, until it has a VIN number, like it won't really hold up. If you fought it and paid to go to court, I'm sure you could get a judge to probably side. But again, that's legal stuff. I'm not in legal stuff, so
And then you've paid the $5,000 that you were about to pay for.
Exactly, that you're gonna win, and it's gonna be gone anyway. So it's just one of those things. Like, unfortunately, do I think it can do anything? No. Sign Webdo. That's about it.
Right. Jonathan says, I have 2 orders in my name, one for my son and one for me. Will COVP weed out one of my orders?
COVP is not for the customer. Hopefully, what I'll say for your dealer is I hope that you guys live in the same house, because same house, you can do COVP for the same household, that it doesn't affect your dealer, but COVP has nothing to do with you guys. It just has to do with the dealer and name match.
Gotcha.
That's
so if
it.
he had 2 separate orders in his name, but one is at his son's address and one's at his address, then that's
You're
where it might
affecting the
pop
dealer.
and cause trouble. Okay.
Yep. And if you can sincerely like write an email, and this would just be again for the dealer's sake, write an email saying, hey, this is my son, I did the deposit or whatever. Like, I'm sure they'll work with your dealer, but it truly just has to deal with your dealer.
Gotcha.
But
some good questions tonight.
There's some good questions tonight.
I want to know who's asking, is there Sasquatch on a Ranger? Really?
Well, no, that's something, honestly, no, that's something that I've proposed that they need to do with the Ranger Raptor when it comes out. The American way is we got to have bigger tires. And I thought it was unique.
The American way.
Oh, it is definitely like they can't do that in Australia. That's one reason why Bronco's not down there, because they would want it Sasquatch and they can't have the large tires like that. But I thought they should do like they do the Raptor now. So it gets standard 35s. You can add 37s to it. So why not do the new one, standard 33s? You can bump up to 35s.
I really hope that Ford invites me to the Raptor. Now I can't even talk. The new Ranger launch, because, well, one, it's in Michigan, so they don't have to fly me anywhere, but it would just be so cool to be able to see it. AK, I also just want to go to the Bronco plant, so
yeah.
Friends of Ford, if you're listening, your girl wants to go.
Well, hey, we'll be a friend.
Yeah, we'll be a friend too.
Now, actually, we're not very friendly all the time. We kind of report on some of the bad parts of it too.
We're honest.
What else we got here, Kelly?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm just talking.
Aly, what are some of the common things you've heard today? What are some of the common questions that you haven't seen asked in here, but you've kind of repeatedly been asked?
A lot. I mean, honestly, a lot of it comes down to color and will my accessories fit from the 21? Because people have been stockpiling parts. I mean, y'all are crazy. Like, I didn't really realize how intense like this can get. But at the end of the day, like, they're like, will this all still fit in my Bronco? Yes. I mean, look at F-150. Look, I mean, let's take the competitor. Let's take Jeep. All of your guys' accessories can fit onto other models. So that's been the biggest concern, because people have been paying so much money for some of these upfits and parts because they're just trying to spread it all out and not pay and do everything at once type of a thing. But that's the biggest thing, is if it will all fit, what colors. Is there any new trim levels? I think Ford's going to stick with these, to be honest with you. I don't see them changing too much away from that, because, like, look at F-150, XLT, XLT Lariat, Platinum, King Ranch. I'm sure Ford's going to stick with these models and just offer a special edition here and there. But that's pretty much it.
The Rattler is the worst name ever for a truck, man.
I know. I don't even have a rebuttal to that. Like,
that's a car name. I don't know why that's a car name to me, but that's not a truck name.
It makes my head hurt.
We missed a couple of super chats, which we do have to definitely get these in. M Peugeot with $5. Just gonna slide that into our chat.
Yeah, well, okay.
And Zachary Rogers, what's up, Dave and Kelly and Aly? Dave really enjoyed your Ranger Raptor video. Finally, some Ranger content without the metric system.
Well, I can throw it in there if need be.
Thank you for the super chat, sir. We appreciate it. Let's see.
There's one that just came in.
Oh, you're
right.
okay with
I
that,
know.
sir?
All right, I'm gonna show it. So John says, I am sixth in my line at my small family dealership, a Badlands Lux package SAS 27 hardtop and tow. Do you think I'll get it in the next 6 months? His original reservation was 8/10/2020. John,
I can't answer that.
I wish I could. I wish I could wave my magic ball and say yes, but I do.
Did
really
you just say magic ball?
Yeah, you know, the 8 ball.
Oh, I was thinking
Jeez.
wand. I was like, where'd
Not
you
Harry
come from
Potter
with that?
over here?
I know.
But I really do, like I asked Aly earlier, I really do feel like for 23, the priority was to get customers' orders in and then worry about retail later. I really do think they're going to spend the first 3 or 4 months we have to finish this out.
Yeah.
We have to kind of wrap this up.
So here's what I'll say though to that is that we actually had just a little Bronco meetup this weekend yesterday with just some local Murfreesboro people. And one of the ladies there just got her Bronco 2 weeks ago, and she had a Badlands Lux Sasquatch 27 hardtop, and she ordered in August of 2020.
Really?
Yeah. Well, she ordered in August of 2021. So, I mean,
that at that point comes to dealer allocation.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I'm in a lot of groups, a lot of the same groups that you are, Aly, and like people will get in there and they'll be like, "Good luck, you're not getting your truck for 2 years," and I am always in there. It goes, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You could get it in 4 months, or you could get it in 4 years. We've not seen. To your point, it's allocation, but you don't know where you land on allocation a lot of the times.
You don't.
Does dealer
a
allocation?
A lot of people don't know.
A dealer allocation is just a blank allocation, right? It's just, okay, it's a blank Bronco. They don't look at per dealer like, oh, you're only allocated this many Badlands. It's a reservation.
It's a reservation. So basically what they do is like they say, okay, you earn 27 Broncos, and Ford is pulling these Broncos of what they can build, and they pull them from there. So whether it be all Big Bends or all manual bases, Ford chooses. We don't. We can try and message our rep saying, hey, this guy has been so patient, what can we do to get his pulled, things like that. Like, we can request it. It's just
doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Actually,
Are they still trying to do VIP orders with these every year?
No,
just the initial.
Yeah, it was just the initial. A lot of them were like who had their hand in Ford of like designing. Like, for me, my VIP order was Jeff Trapp, who owns Bronco Graveyard. He was on the panel of the 26 people. So literally coolest dude ever. If you guys do get the chance to meet him, he will talk your ear off about Bronco. He's a super cool dude.
That's awesome. John T says, I tried ordering Ford accessory parts and opted for the dealer install on the website. The dealer that I chose from the Ford website refused to install the parts at the price quotes on site. Is that normal?
Because it's going to hold your Bronco up in production, and they probably just want to get it there, to be completely honest.
Yeah, because I know some of those Fords saying, hey, that the dealer installed option.
Yeah, I mean,
but see, and I read this differently. Go ahead.
Like, if it's it's a cheaper way because you're not like Ford pays our tax part of the time. So yes, they're probably trying to get money off of it. We are in an industry to make money. I know it's shocking. But I know it's weird. But at the end of the day, if it's going to get held up in production, you're not getting it anyway. So they're honestly probably just saying, we're not putting the accessories on, you can pay for them here, type of a thing. I mean, a lot of them aren't hard. I mean, I figured out how to do my lights myself. So I'm sorry if a girl who has like no recollection of some of this stuff can do it. I think anyone can, but I also had my friend who's a tech just double check to make sure my Bronco wasn't going to catch on fire. So
right. Well, and there's so many YouTube videos out there of how to install everything these days anyway. So it's like, that's honestly, a lot of times that's what we do if the instructions aren't great, or if I need
YouTube.
clarification
Love
on
it.
it, that's something I look. Now,
Yeah.
I read this question completely differently than you two did, because I was thinking that he was talking about aftermarket Ford accessory parts and opted for the dealer to install.
Ford performance parts is what it sounded like he was saying. Hey, I want to order them that way and have the dealer.
Yeah. But maybe I read that wrong.
Maybe. Unless he can say it again, I have
How
no
does-
idea.
Aly, how does one go about? So we all got these points, these Ford points for buying and that stuff. How does one go about redeeming those? Do you just tell your dealership, hey, I'd like to pay through these points,
Yep.
or how does that work?
Yep. So I'll tell you right now, Ford Pass points are addicting. Great. I have bought many of my accessories off of Ford Pass points where I haven't paid for those. But you basically go to your dealer. If you order, so say you already have your Bronco or your F-150 or whatever Ford you have, but you don't want to pay out of pocket. You can say, hey, what Ford Pass points do I have? You have a member ID, which I'm using my phone, so I can't show you my member ID, nor can I show you where it's at. But if you go to your Ford Pass app, it's right in your account information. You can say, hey, I want to buy these. Like, I want to pay with my Ford Pass points, either accessories, oil changes, tire rotations, like you name it. You can use it really for whatever you want, which is kind of fun.
Tire
Like, I
rotation.
bought my
Only four
yeah,
though.
weird.
Only
Yeah,
four
only
tires.
Yeah, only 4. Doesn't count for the 5th.
Does your dealership rotate 5?
Yeah.
Yes. I figured you
Yeah.
did.
I find that amazing that that's the one little detail, because there's little details Ford just didn't gather that Jeep's known for a
I'm
while.
not at the same time though. Look and just take a look at who's working in your lube rack. If you have a bunch of young kids, they are not going to know whatsoever. So a lot
Right.
of that has to do with, yes, Ford and training, and I don't want to say common sense, but I feel like it's lacking kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what industry you're in right now. So
Well, yeah, our guy was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that for you." Well, first of all, he was like, "We only rotate 4," and we're like, "No, we want our spare put in." He was like, "Okay, we got it back," and they didn't rotate it in.
No, not at
no,
all.
it's yeah. And then I don't know who is it TJ Miller? I think Lux is holding up more Broncos than people think. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is yes, because your typical F-150 has like 3,500 chips in it. That's an XLT, not even a Lariat or a Platinum or anything like that. So the fact that we're in a chip shortage, which is still happening, and people want Lux, you're looking at thousands. So
Yeah.
yes, to answer that question.
Big Bright R Right is asking, were the points just for 21 Broncos? No, I think you get points no matter what Ford you buy, right?
Yes. You get 42,000 points, which equals $210 for every purchase. It doesn't matter if you lease it, if you pay cash, if you finance it. That's Ford's thank you for buying a Ford car. There was all those points for switching from a hard top to a soft top and all that. I'm not going to get into that. But then every time you come in for service, you also earn points. So like if you pay with your Ford Pass points, you're still earning points. At the same, so you're kind of double dipping, to be honest.
I gotta go look then, because I don't think we did when we used our points. I don't think they gave us points.
I don't think it ever actually took our points either.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
Our dealership's not the greatest.
As if we hadn't said
And that's
that
why I
already.
would be willing to fly to Michigan for a Ranger Raptor. I'm just gonna say that.
Make it-
Okay.
Again.
We'll chat about it. I'll make a
Hint.
list and I'll make it all pretty for you tomorrow.
Aw.
Aw. So Stephen Rapp says, fantastic question. I got points and bought another Ford on my Mustang. I bought the full extended warranty, oil change, etc. But the dealer used all my points and never told me what to do. I assume that's a customer, or that's like a go to your dealer kind of conversation.
Yeah, go to your
or
dealer,
customer care,
because
right?
that's the thing. The dealers can exchange them for warranties and things like that. You sign off on it. We can't do it without you signing off. So there's a piece of paper that says how many points do you want to apply. I think on my hold on, now I'm curious about something. I think I used Ford Pass points on my Bronco, to be honest, to actually purchase it, because you have to use it as a rebate. Is how it works. So there'll be a code number that you use, and you can use your Ford Pass points for that.
And do Ford Pass points expire?
After so long, yes. I want to say if like you don't use them within like a full calendar year, like, and you're not coming in for service, I think some of them do drop off.
Gotcha. We're gonna have to look into that.
I spend
We have a lot.
like I have not like I paid for my tent that I have it posted on my Instagram. I paid for my tent with my Ford Pass points. I didn't pay $1
nice.
for that. So that part was actually kind of fun. I used some of my Ford Pass points for buying my Bronco.
Well, we have 137,000 Ford Pass points right now.
Yeah.
So that gets us a hug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the idea behind those two is for oil changes, stuff like that, to get the customer to come in. It's a free oil change almost. And
it's a loyalty. I mean, Ford's just trying to create more of the loyalty thing is what they're doing. And we were the last ones to kind of launch a rewards program. So that's what Ford's stab at it was.
Yeah, but I have to say Ford's app is by far one of the nicest apps.
Yes.
And I hope
that's what I've heard.
I hope they do not start charging for it as far as like the remote start and all that, because I think GM's about to really, once they start doing that and it's coming
set
this
the
year,
tone.
They're not BMW, and BMW is even taking a lot of shit for charging for heated seats and stuff, the ability to use them.
Okay, I thought that was a rumor. I didn't realize that was true.
No, GM is actually doing this. They've already doing it with their ZR2s, where you lose, like, on your maps, you lose like the sign, the reading or whatever they call it, where it tells you what the speed limit's supposed to be. It just is a blank.
Yeah.
So it's annoying enough to make you want to pay for it.
Exactly.
Laura said Jeep charges after 6 months.
All right, we could never get ours to work on Jeep.
Yeah, we could never get our Wave.
It's called Wave.
Danny, yeah, it's called Wave.
Is it really?
Yeah. But we could never get it set up.
I think I deleted it.
I think I still have it on my phone, but I never got it taken care of. But yeah, Danny Pena says current reservation holders upgrade to a Raptor. Do they have that ability right now? They don't, I assume.
Dealer allocation. If they have one, you can raise your hand and ask them for it.
Is it like the list you were talking about for Ranger Raptor? Like you just need I'm not. I'm literally not. I'm not poking, but they have a list of people that are kind of first come first served sort of.
Yep, it's GT 500s. Any type of Raptor. It doesn't matter if it's a Bronco or if it's an F-150. We have a list and we go down it. You wait long enough on that list, we're going to call you. You get a phone call. Hey, this is what it is. This is what we're allocated. This is what we're allowed to build. Do you want it? Yes or no? And you go there.
See?
So
it was just funny that because you've been talking about it all night.
He's just going to bring it up every once in a while. It'll be fun.
Aly knows.
Hey, man.
I
was a salesperson once too.
I'm learning.
And Aly, we do greatly appreciate your time here.
I know you've been on here a long time. We won't keep you too much longer. Everybody just has so many questions today.
You're good.
Randy said, does code 10 to 19 really matter of your place in line, or are they pulling as they can build?
They're pulling as they can build. You want to be 10 to 19. If you're anything higher than that, you're not even in the thought process of Ford.
No, like a 99 is they pause your order.
You don't know what you want.
Yeah, but some of that is even within the dealerships. I know dealerships, salespeople have certain numbers that they use for that. My understanding, like there's no rhyme to reason 10 to 20. It's just,
I know everyone like freaks out and thinks there's more to it than there actually. And actually, it's kind of funny at the same time. But there's people that come in and be like, "Well, I need to be this." I'm like, "You really don't." But please don't tell me how to do my job.
You're like, I actually know how to do my job, unlike some people maybe don't.
I'm like, come on. Like, if you want me to change, it's not going to do anything different. But it is what it is.
Cigar Texan, thank you, sir, for that super chat. Says for all the weeks I've missed. We've missed you.
I think it was all summer, sir. But hey, you're in Texas. It's hot as hell. I don't blame you.
You missed. Aly and I went to Texas to the ladies off rodeo.
But Aly, you know what she did? She went and found a cave to go explore.
You're not supposed to tell everybody. I haven't done the video yet.
Wait, I wonder if we found. Was yours a? Oh wait, where was that? Never mind. That was Wisconsin. Never mind.
So it was in Marble Falls.
I can't even keep my trip straight.
You
Sorry,
can't even
guys.
keep your trip straight. No, it's actually kind of funny because Becky and I kind of felt kind of weird that day because we literally had flown and then we got to Texas and then we were like, well, hell, there's nothing to do that's not like 150 degrees. So what could we do? Oh, wait, there's a cave. Let's go to this cave and go 150 feet under the ground. So we literally were
Jealous.
flying, then in Texas, and then under the ground, and then we wheeled the next day. So like she and I both were kind of like drunk feeling, but not actually drunk. It was real. It was
I'm
weird.
jealous. See, your trip already went better than mine did because I got there for ladies. I had to do something before. I can't remember what led up to it, but then I touched ground, got my car, drove to, I didn't stay in the resort, or I didn't stay
Mhm.
at the hotel, but I stayed in the resort at a condo. And like check-in said like 2 or 3, but then they're like, "Oh yeah, you can't check in till like 4 or 5." And I
Ugh.
was meeting up with Amy just to see her and catch up before everything started. And I'm like, "So you're telling me I traveled since 8 a.m. I can't check in. I look like a scrub." I'm like, "This is fantastic."
Hey, we
I'm
don't want
like,
no
"This is
scrub.
cool."
Scrub
Yeah,
don't get
see?
no love.
We couldn't get into our
See,
hotel
point
either.
proven.
We stayed
I
at
was so
the
annoyed.
Holiday Inn, I guess, and we couldn't get in either. They were like, we were booked solid last night. They were like, we can't even get you into your room right now. Like we were
Oh
like,
no.
so that's why we had to go to the 68 degrees under the ground and survive for a little bit. Delamar, thank you for that super chat. Ordered 11/16/21, received 8/26 of 22, Outer Banks, soft top, Sasquatch 27, high pack, cyber orange, leather, mod bumper, dealer honored sticker. My build week on 6G forum had people that waited 2 years. It's random.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, the reason that yours got pulled is because you had the high pack. They're gonna choose that over Lux every time.
And there's
Mm.
not a ton of difference, right? What is it?
No,
The
I mean
cameras or
it's the cameras, the B&O system, the heated steering wheel, and I know I'm forgetting something, but at the same time, you're looking at more chips.
oh yeah, yeah.
So
Jake Lavelle, thank you for that super chat. 555. Took delivery of my Badlands on 9/8. Loving the Bronco life. Congratulations.
Jake, I do
it's
have a
it's
question
a
though.
cult, it's
Oh
a
yeah.
cult, not a
It is.
Bronco life.
It is
And
cult.
this is we should just call this the Church of Bronco.
Yeah.
Praise
I'm okay with
Ford. But Jake, I have to ask you a
Praise
question.
Bronco.
You got to be honest. Are you paranoid every time you drive at a red light, looking like somebody's going to run into you? Because I'm not anymore, but I was at first because
I am.
they're so hard to get. But this one over here still is
Oh.
paranoid about driving the thing.
So when I had to go down to Detroit for a Mustang reveal, so Friends of Ford was awesome, and they like flew a ton of people out. They put us up in a hotel. I have Maya at home. I don't have someone to help take care of her unless I had my dad do it, which he already is doing a ton of stuff right now. I'm like, well, I don't want to bug anyone to like let her out. And then so I drove back and forth, and people in Detroit drive freaking crazy. I don't care who you are, like it was nuts. And I'm having a freaking panic attack driving because I'm like, it's late at night. I'm sorry, Detroit's getting better. I'm still a white girl in Detroit. Like, I just want to get in and get out. So
I know, Aly.
all these people
I grew up in Oakland County, but I got you, girl. I got you.
see, me and Kelly get it. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't replace this unless I take an order from one of my
Yeah.
customers. I'm like, and I tell everyone when they take the delivery, I'm like, don't break it, don't get into a crash, don't do anything because you can't replace it. Just don't do it. So it's so funny. Whoever
Yeah, it's crazy.
Whoever Stephen Rapp is, if he wants to be second on the Ranger Raptor list.
See, look, Aly, you come on the show. I'm telling you, if you can get a sale every time, I mean that's
It'll pay, like I told you, it'll pay off in a year.
yeah, hey.
Or a year and a half. Whatever it ends up, right?
Touche.
I would make sure they're all agreeing with 696 and everything else being crazy.
See, I'm not the only one, but literally I was like freaking out. I'm like, I can't crash Bucky. I'll be so sad. And yes, I have named my Bronco Bucky for the ones. A bunch of people ask who Bucky was. It's my Bronco.
You really need a shirt like this, Aly.
But it's not
all I'm
spelled
gonna
like
say.
that.
You need a Bucky shirt.
For
no,
real.
it doesn't.
I know.
matter.
I'm repping Detroit 4 Fest today.
Is it cold up there?
was
Is it
fun.
cold up there today?
I want to say it's probably like low 70s or high 60s.
Oh,
But
that's
like
not
once
bad.
the sun goes down, like it's a cooler
chilly.
breeze. But my panels are definitely off the top of my Bronco right now. So
Oh, we were at softball practice. We took our daughter to travel ball practice last night, and the coach even said, "Hey, we're going to practice till sundown." And no, it was 85 yesterday, but for Tennessee, like at this time of year, the humidity's gone, so it just starts getting cool at night.
Mhm.
And we're like cranking the heaters on the seats, like our daughter's in a blanket in the back. We don't have any doors.
We
on.
always have a blanket in the back of the Bronco just for
the
situations.
first, so I got my Bronco. So it was built in end of June of last year. I didn't get it until October 14th.
Ooh, you were part of the hold.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Did I ever tell you what I did? Did I ever tell you what I did? So, okay, I'll tell you, this is how all the miscommunication starts, because even my rep was like, okay, you're getting your Bronco like by the end of July, early August. I'm like, cool. Technically, if you order a car under A, Z plan or D plan, which are the only discounts Ford is offering on Bronco, you have to keep that car technically for 6 months. Or Ford can take action and get the difference back. If they really pressed it, they could. So I had hit my 6 months. And I'm like, cool, I'm wholesaling my truck. So we sent it to auction so I could break free from it. Had to borrow a Mach-E for 2 or 3 weeks. But that was the only car that we had. Okay, the only thing I'll say about electric, driving that car is the only thing that made me kind of think differently about it. But we'll do that a different show.
That's Mustang
we'll talk.
That's happy hour.
Yeah, there you go. And then I also had to drive my mom's Jeep for like 2 or 3 months because I had wholesaled my truck, because they're like, oh, it's coming. And then like 2 weeks after they said it was coming, they're like, yeah, it's stop shipped. I'm like, perfect. I gave away my truck that I loved, and now I have to drive a Mach-E, and now my mom's Jeep that I felt bad. I'm like, yeah, I don't have an ETA, but she was nice enough to let me drive it, and I like detailed it and everything for her because I felt bad, because it also leaked, which completely panicked. Didn't realize Jeep leaked as bad as they did. I walked out one night and there's like a puddle of like 3 inches of water on my mom's floor. And I'm like, she's going to kill me. Like, I went into full panic mode. It was hilarious. She's like, oh no, it's fine. I'm like, there's water like completely in here. It's not okay.
M. Joe's talking about, how random the orders were. M. Joe, I didn't realize yours was delivered the 19th. Ours was the 18th. So
Yeah.
we're Bronco buddies.
And it also has to deal with dealer allocation too. So
yeah. Well, what was funny with ours, and Kyle, thank you for that $2, man.
They got it for your nipples to get twisted.
Oh, I see. I see.
I know. I'm sorry, Aly.
This isn't OnlyFans over here. But what was funny with ours is, so we paused our order. Like I paused. So we did the January 20th date, and by May I paused it. I had an inside source over at Bostos was like, you don't want any part of these tops right now, and so I paused it. And then when we went to the Dream Cruise last year, they're doing away with our color, and I was like, well, we'll probably not. We're going to be stuck and not get our color, but we'll throw in again. We had a black diamond, hardtop black diamond. All we did was went to a Badlands soft top. That was it. And a day later got a build.
And we're a mid package.
Yeah.
And toe package.
Yeah. Everything.
Weird.
Like the toe. Oh, you can't get that. I was like,
mid toe, soft top, Sasquatch, Badlands.
Yeah. I literally couldn't believe what I was reading the email the next day after they put the order back in. And I had a build. I was like, okay. Yeah. So it is random, and I feel guilty about it still. But
I know there's some that even some people get them, and again, they're lower levels than some of the ones waiting, and I'm just like, they feel guilty. They feel like they shouldn't have their Bronco yet. I'm like, just enjoy your car. Like there's no rhyme or reason that Ford is doing this. So
yeah. Yeah, and even our finance person's like, you're just gonna flip this, right? And I was like, I'm an auto journalist, right? Like that's I plan on doing a long-term review of this vehicle, not flip it.
I know. Well, like, and here's the thing: I was not planning on taking my Bronco at all. Like, I was very content with my truck until I went to Off Rodeo for dealer preview and met Mike Clouds, and he completely changed my mind out of the whole thing to the point where, like, I left and I was like, holy shit, I need this.
Like when
this
can I
is-
get it? Give me it now.
Yeah, like this is the car that I was meant to drive, and nor did I think I was going to be doing any of this adventure, sitting on a podcast with you guys, being friends,
Right?
like doing Friends of Ford. So like it's opened everything for me, which has been awesome.
Well, it's funny because when we went to Ladies Off Rodeo, Becky and I, we were driving a Kia K5. It was our rental. And we left after and we were like, man, why can't we just be in a Bronco? Because we just want to like
I know.
drive everywhere. Like we actually were driving back to the hotel. We were talking with Dwayne on the phone, on speakerphone. And all of a sudden we literally saw like elk or deer or something off to the right hand side.
Aly, they've not stopped talking about these.
And we
these
legit,
things.
no, we both were like, oh my gosh, did you see those? Oh my gosh. And we were both like, there's a car behind us. There's nowhere for us to pull over. And it was like, if we were in the Bronco, we'd have been able to pull over just fine. And we would have been able to like go back and get pictures to prove to these people that we actually saw these
It's called
things.
go over anything terrain mode for a reason.
Yes. Like we couldn't do anything because we had a car behind us because we were in a Kia K5.
Oh,
I
darn.
feel like I saw those too. I think I know what you're talking about though.
Oh, y'all.
It was the long way back to Marble Falls, like one of the
Yes.
side.
Okay, I do know what you're talking. Okay, it's a thing.
See?
Sorry, Dave.
All right,
You're
let's
wrong.
get
And
into
Dwayne asked if we'd been drinking when we did it.
Let's get
when
into
we were driving.
Deer Nation over here.
Just
Actually,
saying.
Cigar Texan might actually be able to tell you what those were.
Might.
Skip 6797. Thank you so much for that super chat. And guys, 140 still in here, 115 likes. If you haven't yet, all I ask is just smash the like button for me, please. If you're obviously enjoying the content as well.
I think we're pretty funny, so
well,
Yeah, I
pretty
think
sure.
so too. We're pretty entertaining, I must say.
yes.
just saying.
You guys are stop worrying about my shirt in the chat. You've
I know there's a lot of
did
that.
make a deal with Tim to bother my chest, so I don't know what Tim's coming up with this stuff.
M. Peugeot said, I broke my hardtop yesterday, simply lifting it up to add more sound deadening. That was a special VDK5.
Peugeot's got a question for Aly too. It says, which trim do you have, and have you turned all the goat modes on yet? That's actually a good question.
I have a 21 Badlands Lux
30
package.
You didn't go Sasquatch though, right?
I did not. I did take off Sasquatch just to see if I would get it. I like my 33s though.
I'm just picking at you.
I have other plans for it. So I had a pair of Sasquatch wheels. Like I found them on Facebook Marketplace. We agreed on a price, and then I had talked to my body shop manager, and I want to try and get a I want to try and get a set of Everglades rims, just to see if I
Really?
can order them through the body shop, just to see if I can. So we might try and do that. So we'll see.
There you go. And the fenders as well, maybe.
Maybe. Again, he said anything's possible, so let's do it.
That's right. Well, it was wrecked, right? You need all 4 fenders, ironically.
Exactly.
But it's not total. Cigar Texan, once again, thank you so much for that, guys. Like you guys are always way too kind to us, and we greatly appreciate that. What else we got, Kelly?
I figured you were gonna like speak his what? Well, there's that. Iconic Bronco says, when can I order a Ranger Lightning?
Never.
Hey, leave the Ranger. I'm the only one to get to talk to Aly about Rangers right now.
Gosh.
Never. I don't know. I mean, everything's going electric. You'll just have to see it. I don't know if it'll be called Ranger Lightning though.
Well,
We'll
they did trademark Lightning for Ranger and Maverick, which is whatever.
We'll see.
Probably to protect themselves, honestly.
Probably.
Tim C says, do you think when retail orders open for new customers that they will be fulfilled faster than before and maybe in 2023?
Hopefully. I don't think they can go any slower at this point, to be honest.
Well, so tell me this. Has Ford changed the way they're prioritizing actual customers over dealership orders? Because once retails go, dealers are going to flood. There's
no dealership stock right now.
No, but so they can't, when they open retail, that's strictly for customers. It's not for dealers for Big Ben stock.
As of right now. Yeah, as of right now, yes. Unless everyone under the sun continues to order Wild Track and Badlands and Outer Banks All Lux package, dealers can't order stock right now. We can try. We've definitely tried, but Ford kicks those orders. They're like, no,
But even
they see
in
what's going on.
in late November, or whenever the actual retail orders pop up, dealers can't order then.
As of right now, no.
Okay, well
Unless
that's good info, because I think
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly that's what pissed a lot of people off was when dealers started getting all these big bins. And I know it was a buildable, yes, I get it totally, but
this is
customers
what
don't
it was.
understand that.
They converted reservations that they weren't taking in the first place. That's why name match is a big thing now. So what they did is they convert. So let's say, like, okay, I put in a reservation for a Lightning. The reason I put a reservation in for a Lightning is I want to see if I get swag just like Bronco got swag. That is truly the only reason I did it. I don't need a Lightning. I'm very happy with my Bronco. I don't see myself parting with it anytime soon unless my rep is in here and wants to get me a Heritage. That's about the only reason I'm parting with my Bronco. But at the same time, like, Ford is only doing customer orders. Like, if they have buildable units at the end of the day that we can't fulfill all the Badlands, all the wild tracks, you will then see blue window stickers again on a dealer's lot. But as of right now, no.
Hey, somehow that reminds me.
Yeah, speaking of I don't want to steal. I'm going to steal his thunder, so never mind.
Oh, boy.
He's going to throw his temper tantrum if I ruin it.
This was my order. How do you
have a blue window stick? Unless
that's how it supposedly ended up in the showroom.
Unless the only way is if it was like damaged and they had to order another one, it could have come blue that way.
So say that again. What could have be potential?
If your unit touched ground and let's say like your window sticker was like ripped in half and because it happens and they get caught in the windows all the time. If a dealer ordered a second one, it could come back blue.
That didn't, because I've seen my PDF.
We actually saw it on the ground.
The
and
PDF
it's
is blue, and I saw it once it touched ground that nothing touched
Weird.
this. But I'd heard there was a random in November of that year that some blue stickers went out that were still actual orders, right?
And they were not supposed to be blue, obviously.
Maybe you just have the lucky one and it's worth more money.
Well, I mean, we're boys.
Yeah.
It's possible.
If it can happen, it will happen to us.
See, and I don't know if you've heard our full
that.
story, because some of the viewers were like, "Hey, you need to tell her the full story." I don't know that you've heard our full story, but yeah. Long story short, our rep text Dave was like, "Hey, is this your VIN number?" And Dave was like, "Well, yeah, that's my VIN number." He's like, "It's on site." They didn't even know it had shown up because the girl that takes them in was on vacation. So the truck just showed up, dropped them.
So it was like a cluster.
Did whatever.
Well, and they knew we wanted to film it coming off
yeah.
the truck.
So he contacted us. We went. I left work early. He left work. We went up. We videoed it. We started it. We got to sit in it. We got to do all that. Well, he was like, "Well, I probably can't have it ready for you until Friday." And I was like, "Well," and that was Wednesday. And I was like, "You know what? Let's just wait till Saturday so I don't have to take any more time off." He was like, "Okay, no problem." Well, our sales rep ended up being sick on Friday. But we had told him, "Hey, don't take anything off. Don't do anything. We want to, do what you have to for inspection, but that's it." He was like, "No problem, no problem, no problem." I'm working Friday night. He gets a message from a friend of ours and goes,
"I'm live streaming."
Oh, he's actually live streaming too at the time. And he gets a message from a friend that says, "Hey, did your deal fall through on your Bronco?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It's in the showroom at the dealership." On their Facebook. Yeah, and so we're like looking at it and we're like, and somebody had called up there and found out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that Bronco's for sale. It's for sale for $85,000. And we were like,
shit.
So he's like over here steaming, and I'm like, just go up to the dealership.
Oh, I'd be livid.
He calls up there and they're like, blah, 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 blah. He's like, "I need to know why my Bronco is in the showroom and you're taking offers on my Bronco." And they're like, "Well, no, it's not yours. It's a blah, blah, blah." And he goes, No, it's not." Well, they put you on hold or something, right? Mm-hmm. And then they end up coming back and it's like, "Oh, don't worry. We know it's yours."
So we knew the finance girl.
Yeah, we knew the finance girl. And she was like, "Don't worry. I put a sold sign in it. We've locked it up. We've done all of this." Well, they had detailed it. They had taken every single sticker. Our build sheet's gone. The plastic is gone. Like every single thing is gone. But I know had they had somebody that would have shown up that night,
they would have sold
with
it.
80,000 They would've
Oh, somebody
sold
would
in a
have.
heartbeat.
There's some people with stupid money, which I don't know where you're all
No,
getting it from, but
the fact was, I made it known the day I went to confirm my reservation that, hey,
2 weeks before that.
auto journalist, I'm
Mhm.
doing a story on this, multiple stories, and they were like, hey man, we'll be very cool with you, and they were cool enough that they tried to sell my vehicle.
And it's still on their
they're
Facebook
so
page.
cool.
Oh yeah. And
Almost a year
we
ago.
were
God.
sitting at our salesperson's desk waiting to get to finance, and there's people cold calling people about my Bronco in
The
the showroom.
owner's son was calling people and going, hey, I got a Bronco in. Hey, I got a Bronco in. And I was very loud. It was like, I need people to stop trying to sell my Bronco. Like, because he was literally in the cube next to us.
I'd be freaking out at that point. I'm not.
We were
gonna lie.
freaking out. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it but honestly, had they sold it out, I would have probably had a pretty viral story. And,
Yeah.
it probably worked out. But anyways,
I was
Long
gonna say
story
Ford
long.
probably would have ended up building you another one.
probably. Final call, guys, for your questions or comments. Aly has literally not slept in 3 weeks, and she's probably ready to get out of a Ford dealership. Her little puppy scratching the door, going, "Hey,
Hey, Mom, come home."
yeah."
Oh, she hates me this week. It's okay. It's actually so like sitting at my desk this late. I didn't realize like how many people drove through the parking lot this late at night. Like
Yeah,
still
because
just
they don't
kinda
want to be. They
creeping.
don't want to. I'll be honest. Whenever we go look at vehicles, we don't go during hours because we don't want to be messed with. We just want to look and do our thing. So I'm sure that's what a lot of people are probably doing.
Oh, my favorite line to use on people is has anyone come out to bug you guys yet? No, great. Here's my card. Come bug me inside when you're done. Like, I don't care. It's really funny because it's funny because
speaking
like
of Aly, if a week down the road people watch this, because we do actually get quite a few
Rewatches.
if they want to do business with you, how do they go about doing that?
shoot me an email. It's adubois@brightonford.com, and I start a paper thread there, and then I'll call you, introduce myself, and go through all of that stuff. Like our
Right.
girl Courtney did when she ordered the Bronco. I don't know if she's in here tonight, but or I can't say ordered because I can't technically order it yet, but I know what she
Right.
wants.
So tell me how to pronounce your last name again, and I'll try to get it right for the next future.
Okay, so wait, no, technically it's Dubois is what I do, but you guys are right. It is Dubois.
Okay, so either way, okay.
You silly
Yeah,
Yankees.
so either way.
Boys. Okay,
You
I'll
silly
try. I'll
Yankees.
try, Aly. I'll try. I can't guarantee
silly
it.
rednecks down here in Tennessee. You got it right.
Yeah, but she knows I'm from Michigan, so that doesn't count.
Here, I'll link it in the thing. I'll link it.
Perfect.
Oops.
Now don't blow her up
If
with
I
80
can
bajillion
type.
questions,
Yes.
guys. This is for sales.
And this is not Tinder, okay,
And I
guys?
No, this is sometimes they
Yeah,
try
let's
to
bring
turn it
that up
into a
again,
dating
shall
channel.
we?
You're gonna go
Perfect.
right to the spam folder, folks. Just
No.
no.
Hey, actually, I will say our spam folder is pretty good with Ford. So if you don't hear from me, send another email because it might think you are.
It probably
spam,
actually went to
so,
the spam folder.
Yeah.
But not if you're wanting to date. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
Bronco Dude
Yeah,
says,
please no.
what are we predicting for final Everglades number? Should I have mine delivered within the month? Desert sand, tow, slide out table, tube door steps.
No. No.
Bronco Dude, I'm assuming you've got a
VIN number?
blend date. I'm assuming that's why he's asking.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I don't know.
I hope.
Hey, is there
So
any
that-
chance of and I'm sure you'd have to ask parts. The slide out tailgate was one of those goofy things that I wanted so bad, and it's probably
I
the
want
most
one so bad.
it's probably the most useless, honestly, thing ever. But I know Ford said that eventually that would be for, you could order those. But any word on that?
As of right now, no. But I'll tell you right now, like I want one in the worst way. Like I've seen it on 2 or 3 Broncos, and I want one in the worst way.
Not as much as you want a Heritage, though.
I know. I want
Oh,
one
Bronco
so
Dude says, yeah,
bad.
his is built.
Oh, good. Yeah, depending. I mean, Bronco
Depending upon
Okay.
where it's coming, how it's coming.
Let's talk
what's
about
her-
this for
What's
a
her name
second.
from LA? Was in the chat.
Simple Beauty 3000.
No, but she's also the I can't think of her name. Order the Wild Track. But we had people. So I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, or just right outside Nashville, 500 less miles away from MAP. Lady in California, in LA, got hers before me, and she was a couple hundred Broncos behind mine.
Yeah.
So there's no rhyme to reason on deliveries too.
Yeah.
And I know there was a
I will
national
say
shortage.
right now, it is absolutely insane trying to get things shipped. I had 3 Broncos built the same day and got them all within 3 weeks of each other. Like, they
Wow.
all came at different times. I'm 40 minutes from that. Like,
Yeah.
there's no rhyme or reason that any of this is happening. I'm not saying it's right. It's just pure chaos because some of these trucks are breaking down. Guys, we're in a part shortage. We can't fix these trucks like we used to. Like, they're running these things ragged. Sometimes I'll see a delivery driver twice in one day, but they'll drop us 2 to 4 cars. Not just like one stop and you give us 2 to 4 cars. I'll see them twice on 2 different
Wow.
loads. They're doing what they can.
See, and that's a new thought on it too, because I was just thinking of driver shortage. I wasn't thinking about how much these trucks are running,
Maintenance.
and to your point, they're breaking down and they can't fix them, and wow, yeah, hadn't thought about that part.
Yeah, I swear it's like one thing after another. But that's the thing. If you guys want your Bronco sooner, I'm sure Jack Cooper will hire you. I just know that's a shipping company up here. I don't know about everywhere else in the world. I'm sure they'll hire you. Get a truck, start loading these things, you'll be good.
Right? I know everybody's hiring, right? These days.
Dude, for real.
It seems.
All right, so
It's
Aly,
insane.
last question for you. Obviously, we've talked a lot about what to expect with changes and stuff. You suggested that if you haven't heard from your dealership, give them a call. Just they're going to flip it automatically, but
Yep.
especially Cyber Orange, I know that was a big one. It's just going to get converted into
So sad.
the black. What about Raptor? If they had the green, are they automatically converting that?
They're going to. I don't know what color it's automatically converted to, but if you have a green one, they're gonna convert it regardless.
So definitely, if you've got a green Raptor, you should check in with your dealership on that. And just honestly, be patient, guys, with your salespeople. There's some scummy ones out there.
We're not all here to like piss you guys off. We want these cars gone faster than you guys do. So
yeah, but there's some bad ones out there, but there's also good ones like Aly out there that actually, because you care about, and you reached out and we talked that, hey, I want good information out there, and it doesn't you're talking to a global audience here, the odds of clearly, we sell Broncos, I mean, clearly, but
no,
but like the odds of you, don't be doing that.
Got it. Sorry, guys.
But the odds of you seeing most of these customers are slim to none, but you just want really good information out there to Bronco customers. So
you can unprotect yourself. It's not going to happen again.
I'm just kidding.
I see the bad things going on and it sucks because like I have had such a great experience with Bronco. I want everyone to have a great experience with Bronco. To be honest, I see a lot of my customers on the road with these things. Like I tell them when I'm going to Hollyoaks, I said, hey, it's hard to describe some of this stuff in a parking lot when you're trying to say, hey, like pair your phone, do this, do that. Here, turn on trail turn assist, but I have nothing. I have no dirt. I only have concrete, and you're going to screw up your Bronco. So I'll tell them to meet me at Hollyoaks in Michigan. I'm like, hey, these are the days I'm going. Let's go. And like I've already told everyone about Tennessee for super celebrations and things like that. I'm like, this is where you really get to connect with people. So unfortunately, it's not like a one and done thing. Like I'm going to see you forever. So I also don't want to put a bad taste in your mouth about that because I'm going to run into you at events. I go to all of them.
Yeah.
I already see some people that like aren't my customers, but like we've butt heads in the past and like they see me at everything. I'm like, it's not going to stop me from going. Like I'm obsessed with my car and I want my car out there. So
yeah. I too have people I butt heads with at these places.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we're gonna run into each other, and it's just one of those things. Like I'm not here. I'm not gonna like cause drama or like start a scene in front of anybody. But at the same time, I'm like,
Girl,
it's
you're
not
from
gonna
Detroit.
stop me from
You're
going.
gonna cause drama. Let's be honest. Everybody I know, including this one,
I watch drama. I don't like to cause it.
I don't like to cause it, but I've also got. I mean, sales have definitely made me have thicker skin than I was before. I used to let people walk all over me. I will definitely voice my opinion. and tell you to knock it off. I'm not afraid of that anymore. So,
Well, and you have to, you know, you definitely have
Oh,
to
yeah,
because you
it's
have to be
right.
strong for you and for your voice and for your name's sake, you know, you've got
Yeah.
to you've
Yeah.
got
And
to
that's
be
the
there for
biggest
you.
thing. Like I work for Brighton Ford, and trust me, they watch social media like crazy. And if I say or do something, it'll probably get back to somebody. Like I commented on a post, and honestly, I hit them with facts and corrected everything that they were saying. And they screenshotted it and sent it to my dealer. And my manager pulled me aside. He goes, "Hey, watch yourself." He's like, "I'm not mad. Just don't do it again." I'm like, "Got it." I'm like, "He was stupid." He goes, "I know, but you still can't do that." I'm like, "Got it." Like,
Well, and
perfect.
it's funny you say that because I remember it was probably about a year ago now. I don't remember at all where the girl was from or anything, but she was in one of the groups and you probably remember, you may have seen it too, but the girl just went off on somebody. It was just like, everybody's stupid that thinks da 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 da, you know, and they were just like, you need to be patient about the Broncos. And the way that she said it was totally down talking
I did.
everybody.
Yep.
And she got in big trouble with her dealer, like, and she had to come on and
Yep.
give it an apology and everything else. So I get it. You know, you
I do remember
represent your
that.
business, even though it's your opinion, you still represent your
Mhm.
business.
Well, speaking
Yeah,
of
that's why I always
referencing,
have to add like my opinion into these because
Yes.
it's not
yeah,
Ford's, it's
see, that's
mine.
the Detroit way right there. I've got to add my opinion into
No,
it.
she's
So
saying she puts it in there and says, but
I
this is
know,
my
I
opinion. It's
know.
not a representation of my dealer.
I'm poking.
Yeah.
I have to say this before we go, guys. Go if you're not a part of our Discord, go over there. Tim moderates a live chat after this, so I have no idea what happens, but it's under the All Terrain Nation banner there. So play nice there. Aly, clearly it's turning into a dating thing for you in there. So in this stream, so we'll
Apparently, every time.
but you gotta, you know, she's a Tinder girl, and you're not within her
Oh
area.
my
So sorry,
gosh.
guys. Every once in a while.
No, not Tinder. No Tinder.
Oh, not Tinder. I'm sorry.
She's like, no, leave me alone.
No,
Okay.
No, not Tinder.
Aly, it was great to have you on once again. I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road. Definitely. We got to have dinner at least at a Supercell.
Yeah, for sure.
At least.
I mean, technically, my cabin's already booked for Supercell, so y'all better.
Wait.
Oh crap, we got.
I was about to say where you going, but I can't say that here. So all right, guys. So Weatherby 2-wheel drive.
Let's not do that, Kelly. I'll message you the link.
Yeah,
that
we'll
I'm
talk about
staying
it.
at, and we'll do that.
We'll talk to Aly in just a second. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, it doesn't matter what you drive. If you have any questions, like Aly said, Brighton Ford, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Email her
And I
for
linked-
sales though.
Yes.
Yeah,
And don't email her just because you're lonely and want to talk to somebody.
Or want to ask 80 bajillion questions.
Go to
if
your
you
own
want-
dealership for that.
If you just want to talk, just look up my Instagram. It's my name. So
See,
there you
There
go.
you go.
All right, guys, we will see y'all next Monday. We got a trip we're going on this weekend. So
Yeah.
anyways, so we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.
See ya.